through, fumbling through, fumbling through, fumbling through, fumbling through. Welcome back, fine friends and fickle enemies, and welcome to Fumble Through.
Fumble Through!
A podcast that spent most of its childhood unaware that Penny from Inspector Gadget was from the future and carried around an iPad. Yeah, think about it. Penny always had this book that she could go anywhere and look up anything, and it was just like a pad. And then Brains had electrodes that came out of his collars. He was a robot. Inspector Gadget, I don't even know what he is from the future. He's some type of mimic. Like,
I just thought Penny had one of the best Funkin' Wagnalls I've ever seen.
no. Penny had like a computer, like a laptop computer, and then you're like, oh, that's not actually a laptop. And then you're like, oh, it's an iPad.
Oh.
Yeah.
The prototype.
Or if it's Lindsay, some kind of non-Apple product.
Thank you.
It's that, what's that lady from Britain who puts out an album when she, at certain ages of her
Adele?
life? Yeah.
Oh, God.
That was great. I really enjoyed that one.
I'm so upset with myself for falling into that. Anyway, thank you so much for crossing the swamps of doom and braving the tunnels of horror just to be here in the Fumble Factory with us. As always, we saved you a great spot at the table, so get your dice trays out, rescue that D20 from Dice Jail, and come on board as we spend another hour or so adventuring with Reg, Miles, and Flopsy. Speaking of someone who fell in love in jail...
It was only a couple of days, and I got let out on technicality. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for all those following the cavalcade. Did you know?
Did you get him?
No, not yet. But I think it's because he speaks multiple languages.
Ooh.
So I'm going to try and learn how to say Henry Cavill coming and showing some of the
What
four
languages does he speak?
He is rumored to speak 9 different languages,
What?
but he
Really?
is fluent in 4, which is English, obviously,
Okay.
French,
Oh,
Spanish, and Italian.
wow.
Does anyone speak any of those languages
Nope.
here, or do I
I've
have to
got
actually?
a smattering of French, but
No, don't speak
I'm not
any of
going
those
there.
languages.
I mean, if you'd said Dothraki or Klingon,
Yeah.
or
Can you say Henry come play Fumble Through in French?
I think you'd have to say Henri,
All right.
not Henry, because French.
Sounds elvish to me.
Okay, that's some homework for me. I'm going to butcher that. That's going to be worse than the song.
Oh, I don't know.
I beg to differ.
Yeah, there's a low bar. There's a low bar. So it's time once again for that ever popular segment that gets our brains thrashing, our tongues wagging, and our bowels moving. If you have an idea for a dicey question, please send them in. And for those of you who have taken the time already, we thank you. But the tide is heading out on the last plentiful wave that you sent us, and we need more. So if you can take a moment, think of something that you'd like to talk about, even send us your answer so that we can read out as part of our dicey question segment. Send us your questions, send us your comments, send us anything, because we are running out of content and I am sick of asking these guys for questions that make my head go crazy. Part of this for us is to get to know you out there, to build this community of role-playing misfits and gibbering mouthers. So drop in and send us a line and email us at fumblethroughpodcast@gmail.com. Anyway, this week's Our Dicey question is from a favorite of the show, Ashley. Would you like to say it, Lindsay?
Ashley.
Who asks, what fictional character would you bring back from the dead? Tell us the story.
Fictional character.
I guess that there are some prerequisites here because, Luke, you always ask me to define the question I didn't write. But first and foremost, they're fictional. Second, they're dead. Third, you got to bring them back.
Like to life or like as a zombie?
Again, I have no parameters here. You've just got to bring them back. Ashley stumped the table.
No, I would go with Bruno Battlehammer from the Dritz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when... Oh, no, he didn't die.
He did die and then he already came back.
Yeah,
Twice.
right.
Spoilers. I'm not up to where he's died yet.
Yeah. I'd go with Flint from the from the Dragonlance series.
Okay.
Very sad death. Terrible death. Terrible. I'd love him to come back. He was patriarch of that storytelling.
Now, Flint, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Flint die of a heart attack
No, I think he died of disappointment.
in Tasselhoff?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was a heart attack.
Yeah. And Flint was one of those deaths that hit home because it was just so normal.
It was out
not-
of the blue.
yeah.
It was an everyday. He just got old and
Yeah.
life caught up with him. And yeah, I think that's, he deserved a more Sturm-like death.
What's the story behind him coming back, Brett?
So I think what happens is when Tasselhoff fights the devil to save the land and bring back the magic, that the rift in magic breaks open and brings back Flint as a young dwarf, not as an old dwarf, and he gets to live his full life again with a land full of magic, not a land bereft of magic.
Tasselhoff.
Tasselhoff.
Is he the character with the black horse with the one red eye that kind of
No.
goes? Okay.
No, he's the little...
he does say by your commander. Yeah.
He's a little Kenda who some people might say is one of the most annoying characters in fiction, and I love him dearly.
Yeah, he's something Justin would make at a table.
He very much is my type of
Constantly
character.
turns up with other people's stuff in his pockets.
Doesn't know how he gets them, but he saves their bacon on more than one occasion.
I really struggle with this because I'm a big part of storytelling where deaths are a big part of making the story and the journey worthwhile, like making the struggle real. So I really struggle on going, okay, who do I think died unfairly and needs to be brought back
Well, it
for?
doesn't have to be unfair.
Well, even so, like-
everyone thought Gandalf died.
Yeah, the
and
thing
they
I'm
brought him
struggling
back.
with this is the how that story would fall out because I mean my first choice was Spider-Man.
Mhm.
Oh no, hang on, no, that was me that died the last time I watched Spider-Man.
Oh,
It was actually Boromir in Lord of the Rings, but I would love for that character to come back, but I have no idea how that would work because, like you say, that's a pivotal point in the story of Fellowship of the Rings when he dies,
and everyone else grows because of it.
Yeah, absolutely. But I was absolutely heartrended. I should have realized it's Sean Bean. He dies in everything he's in. But it was really difficult to watch that scene. I thought it was very, very good. But
Well, how come he has to come back as Boromir that you knew? Like you said before, why doesn't he come back as a zombie? Maybe Sauron brings him back to life and he becomes an opposer of the ring going to Mount Doom and starts chasing after the hobbits and then brings the Gondor people on board on his side and then they finally kill all the hobbits.
now, did you see what I did there? That's exactly how I get away with not reading the rules.
Actually,
Just crack the door open just a little bit.
And he just was a running.
Yeah, it's true. I can't help myself.
saying that then, I can't remember his name. One of the Snow guys.
Jon Snow?
No, he didn't die.
Malcolm Snow.
The other one. the
Jack Frost.
Snowpiercer.
the one that was...
Olaf.
See, I'm really invested in him.
Snow business like show business.
That guy Snowden.
He wasn't actually Snow. He was a Stark.
Oh,
Rob?
Rob Stark, yes.
Tony.
Yes, Rob Stark.
Tony Stark.
Nothing to do with.
Yeah. You know, the one that wasn't the bastard.
His death was brutal, right? Because
the Red Wedding.
yes, because
that's a tough scene to watch.
he had finally come to his peak as a character when he had dealt with all this crap and stuff. And I guess that's why they killed him off. But I would have loved him to see come back as vengeance incarnate.
What are the red lady?
The Grey Lady, yes.
Yeah.
That we will never see what came out of her because he will never finish that freaking book.
Yeah. And
But,
the rumors abound that is Catelyn Stark.
Yes.
Yes.
So that was the
Yes.
whole thing of that was that she was going to come back as a walker.
But I would love to see him as just, raised by like the burning god and all he does is kill the people that,
I've got another one.
oh yeah.
Okay.
I'd love to see Yoda come back to life. He didn't die of old age and take his rightful place at the head of the clone army
As a general.
as a general.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, so he stops being a Jedi.
No.
What about instead of a general, Grand Admiral?
Toph.
Grand Admiral Yoda.
Tarkin.
That's Moff.
No, I think Yoda would do well coming back. I think, his journey was a short one. We didn't see a lot of it. I'd love to actually see Yoda's origin story and how he joined the Jedi. And I think you could bring Yoda back that way.
Yeah, isn't that Baby Yoda in The Mandalorian?
No, that's Mandalore. He's Mandalore. He is Mandalore.
He is Groot.
Saying that though, Darth Vader coming back would be pretty cool.
He was already a zombie, so how are you going to bring him back then?
He's just more robot.
He's more robot than
But
man.
I kind of feel like if he had, survived a little bit and kind of took on a bit of the training of the new generation alongside Luke Skywalker, maybe Luke could have stayed a bit more of the kind-hearted young boy that he once was rather than the jackass.
Purple milk drinking.
Yeah, those aren't
Blue
canon.
milk.
They're not canon as far as I'm
Blue
concerned.
milk. So the question I've got around Star Wars, and we always hit debates here around Star Wars. So here I go again. Aren't they? They haven't died because they're Force ghosts.
Yeah.
They're there. They can interact with him. They're standing right there.
Because they really extended that into like you can physically interact.
Yeah, once
Because
upon
Luke catches the lightsaber as Rey is throwing it into the fire.
He
So
projects himself. Once that's not canon. You just said.
Yeah.
I never said that was canon. I said that the movies weren't canon. I'm just saying in the movie
Yeah,
they did this.
They did.
I didn't say that itself was canon. Yeah.
But yeah, the Force ghosts are around, and in a version of that movie where there's a Nyub Yub song right at the end, which is fantastic. And I did find over the week a YouTube video of a guy who does lounge versions, and one of his lounge versions is Nyub Yub, Nyub Up, and Nyub
Richard
Yub.
Cheese.
What?
Richard Cheese.
Is that his name? Yes,
Richard
yes, that is
Cheese.
his name. Yes.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
He does a whole heap of covers. He's
Yeah.
been doing it
His
for a
covers are
long time, and he's
really
amazing.
wonderful. They're
All
really
swing,
wonderful.
yeah. So I'm just hearing now that ghosts are alive from you, Justin. No longer can they be generals in an army, and in fact, they're alive when they're ghosts.
Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg's on daily television. She was in the movie Ghost.
No, I guess the Queen's still around.
No, she's lizard. Like Zuckerberg.
She just sheds her skin.
I don't think she's done that for a while. Looks like it's about ready to fall off.
Well, she's under a lot of media pressure at the moment, so she can't get away with it.
I am all out of
Yeah.
babes.
She looks
to
very
bathe
raw
in.
usually when she's done it. So yeah.
What about you, Justin? Have you got a notable fictional death that can be resurrected in a way that's notable?
I do, but I really don't understand how this is going to change because this is a pinnacle moment. I just want to take you back to a movie. It's about it's the first 5 minutes of a movie that this happens in, and there's a man and he proposes to the love of his life. They go on some dates and they grow old together. And then at some point she dies, leaving him in a house alone. But I want to reverse that and have her not die. So when a little boy in a scout's outfit comes to the front door, the old man kicks him off the porch because he's an angry person anyway. And then they come and they give them lots of money and they live happily ever after in a mansion because they paid them out. And he doesn't have to hold on to the house and go on an adventure where there's a talking dog.
With lots of balloons.
With lots of balloons.
Squirrel.
I knew it was up.
What's up?
What's up? Yeah, that's a good story. That would work. That would change the outcome there.
It would change the outcome.
Yeah, wouldn't make a movie.
I didn't say it was a movie, did I? It's a series of novellas that are told in prose. All right, I think it's time for us to pivot and get back to our game. We are going to go deep into the Siege of Serpents, getting back into the Pathfinder Society module. Where you last left it, you were standing, the four of you with Amriel, we're all standing in a bit of a field around the Pathfinder Lodge where all hell has broken loose and some kind of invaders that you haven't been able to identify have started to attack the lodge. You've moved yourselves in sort of towards that northeastern side of the lodge grounds as you started to walk into there. And on the way, you went into an open clearing where you found a whole heap of innocents, the workers, the guys who are bartenders, the run-of-the-mill workers of the Pathfinder. You know who I'm talking about. We're all in danger because the
staff.
The staff. That's the word that I was looking for. The staff are all akimbo because some animals had gotten out of the menagerie. Two of which, the pards, which were phasing and porting through you, doing a whole heap of fire damage, were taken down quite deftly by you. One of them was killed by Reggie's foot, hence the name the Reggie 3, and the other one was
I have 3 feet.
slumbered and shackled by Miles. At that point, you are standing there when you see a small man, a gnome, come up to you. His big nose kind of red. You see his eyes have a wildness to him and his hair's a little all over the shop.
I
And he
flurry.
says to you, he says, thank you for your valor. Look, there are people all over the place that are running from animals. The animals, they've gotten into the menagerie. You've got to go south. They're in the menagerie. Save the animals. Something bad will happen if they let them all out. I already saw an elephant. Oh my God, is that the emu? And he runs off after an emu that is just coming past, letting you know that the menagerie to the south is obviously under attack. Now you can continue in the northeast, or you can pursue the menagerie. It's up to you.
I feel like we're really being steered towards the menagerie.
I'd like to do a sense motive on that gnome and see if that's a particular interest of the gnomes and he wants us to do it because it's particularly important to him, or if there's a real threat there that would supersede the other threats.
I don't even fucking understand that question.
He wants to know if the gnome's a real gnome or someone trying to get us.
No, I'm going...
How the fuck can you discern that from somebody's conversation?
I just rolled a 20. I rolled a natural 20. I would like to
know what his motives are as to whether he's really concerned about the menagerie or whether he's just a little bit concerned. He says he's concerned about the menagerie, but is it true?
I don't see a problem, Justin. Let's just let him roll and see what happens.
Okay. Go.
I'm just now wondering why they would call it sense motive if you can't sense the fucking motive of a person that comes next to you.
I just rolled
As
a
they
20
talk
for
to you.
sense motive. That's 26 on sense motive for me.
26 on sense motive. You think that he's worried about the menagerie and all the animals that are currently around you, chasing people around the Pathfinder area.
But Justin, is he really worried?
You've already seen a giant elephant. You've seen 2 pards that have attacked you. You've seen people running away from different animals.
Hang on, are the pards from the menagerie then?
Yes.
We just killed the menagerie animals.
One, not 2. One of them's
Oh, now
shackled.
I feel really bad.
Just the female. She's pregnant.
The point I'm trying to make is we're in the northeast section and there were some incursions up there.
Yep.
Is that settled and should we go to the south, which is...
No, there's shit going on all around you.
And then that's what I'm going. Is it more urgent? Does that guy go, you should absolutely drop this. This section's under control enough. Come to the menagerie, otherwise everything goes to shit.
No, he never said anything's under control. He just said all these animals are coming from the menagerie. They probably need help.
Can we see people under threat right now?
Doesn't mean you have to drop everything, go there now. So in front of you now, you have the choice. You can go south to the menagerie or you can continue to explore the northeast. You can even go to the northwest if you want. It's up to you guys.
I'd like to go to the menagerie because I just like the word menagerie and I like hearing it as much as possible.
I'd prefer to call it the Nicky Menagerie.
So the menagerie.
Do we bring the cat?
The corpse.
No, the live one.
Oh, nah, you're right.
Okay.
Let's hope for the
Amount of manacles. He said he wanted to help us to save the animals. I don't have any more manacles.
Take my manacles. I've got some manacles you can replace that one with.
Oh, thank you.
I'll take these on this cat. It's fine.
Are we heading to the butchery?
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing?
If you are, to get to the menagerie, you actually have to go to the southern end of the grounds. That'll take that it's going to take you about 10 minutes to get there. So it's up to you where you want to go.
Okay, we'll do the menagerie for later, but we're here. Let's just make sure this is all good.
All right.
And then go to the menagerie later.
Kill that other cat and let's do it.
So, what are you going to do with the cat?
We can't go anywhere, right? You want me to kill it?
No.
So you just leave the cat here, or are you going to do anything with it? You're going to skin it?
No.
What I'm
We'll
getting
just
at
put
is
the
I want you to
corpse of
skin
its-
it.
Put the corpse of its partner right in front of it.
So it opens its eyes
Yeah,
directly
that's the first
into
thing it sees.
the corpse of its partner. That's
The
great.
last breeding pair.
But
of
without
four.
the coat on, you wanted the coat of the other one.
So
right?
skinless, yeah.
Yeah, so skin it first.
No.
Skin the cat. Go on. You wanted a coat, Reg.
I might take a paw for like,
Of the live one or the dead one.
both.
All right. So you find yourselves with a choice in front of you. There is a sleeping cat in front. I don't know whether you're just going to leave it. It's not really like there's so much going on here that nothing's really going to be able to resolve itself. Like the shit's on fire. Like the world is on fire around you and there is stuff going down left, right, and center. And you can see buildings that are being assaulted and you can see places, even from where you are, you can see that there is the Star Hall and the Mausoleum in this area. They are further away from you. So it's minutes between places. It's not like you're just going from one place to another. And even as you're going, you are passing. And I assume that there is some combat that you get involved in that's not part of this storyline. Like you might have to just lend a bit of a hand. You might have to avoid a confrontation so that you can get past. all that kind of stuff is going on around you, and you get from one area to the other. So it's important for you guys to figure out, are you going to stay the course up here, or are you going to go somewhere else?
Okay, let's stay the course here. Then we'll go to the menagerie. Then we'll go back to where we came from, the center bit, and then we'll go to the pub.
I'd rather not waste 10 minutes getting somewhere where we can be effective here right now.
Yep.
Right, so what's here?
Here in the northeast side, you can see a mausoleum, and you can also see a place called Star Hall. You know that the mausoleum is a place where they inter dead bodies, and the Star Hall is like an observatory. They're
Star
the
Hall?
two major buildings in this zone.
Yes, a Star Hall, absolutely.
Yeah, I've had enough of undead for a while. Let's go Star Hall.
All right, Star Hall, let's do it.
All right, so you start to make your way through the throngs and battles of the Pathfinders trying to protect the area. Can you just make me a percentile check for you, someone?
I'll do it.
Flopsy's going to be walking with his dagger out in case he gets jumped by anything.
22.
22, you manage to avoid most of the major confrontations. There's one moment where you have to duck around, and just as some of whatever these invaders are, there's a Pathfinder that shoots a fireball that lands just on the edge of you and incinerates these bad guys, and you continue walking past to the Star Hall. You get there, and the outside of this large keep which was designed in that Aslanti architecture, it has that in mind, and you can see that there are two wings that extend from the center structure. One's got a big dome tower at the end of the east wing, and there's a smaller bronze dome over the center hall. The Star Hall, as you know, serves as an observatory, a library, and a museum for otherworldly and extraplanar objects and lore.
This is absolutely the most important building in this whole precinct, and we should protect it with our lives.
Okay.
Sorry, we should protect it with your lives.
It's more like it, Flopsy. Right, so can we go into the
Yep.
building? Yeah.
Okay, so you start to walk your way up. The only entrance that you can get in, or the main entrance to the Star Hall, is from the south, and you open the doors. Entering the main entrance in the south, you find yourselves in the impressive library of scrolls, tomes, and manuals. Several display cases hold impressive objects recovered from Numeria, the land of barbarians. A curator's desk stands to your right on a raised wooden floor. Standing at the desk, you see a medium-sized creature with a face resembling a kobold humanoid mixed with a wyvern, something that you haven't really seen before, but if you have knowledge arcana, you can give me a roll right now.
Amriel, the dragon form here. 27 for Flopsy.
17 for Miles.
Both of you get that, as does Amriel. You recognize this creature to be what's called a wyvaran. So wyvarans are kind of like dragon. The best I can think about it, to use a different rule system, they're the dragonborn from the D&D world. So they have faces that look a little bit like kobolds. They're upright, medium-sized humanoids with wings and tails, but they're very draconic in their mannerisms and in the way that they look. Its wings move, blowing the map that it's studying as it notices you. From beyond one of the Numerian display cases, you hear a voice in Draconic. Does anyone here speak Draconic?
Nope.
No.
Oh, please hold.
I'm sure you do, Flopsy.
I'm sure I do too. Yeah, Flopsy speaks Draconic.
You hear the voice from beyond the display cabinet full of horned helmets and axes and fur-lined boots say, "There must be a trap to treasure around here somewhere, Tasnov. If these Pathfinders are as bad as they say, I feel not bad taking it." His head pokes around the shelf, noticing you for the first time, and then drawing his falchion, he says, "Stop where you are. Do not come any closer. This is not a place for you anymore. You cannot stay. Leave before we must do something we cannot come back from."
Get to the chopper.
It's the barbarian.
Are we doing initiative?
In Draconic, Flopsy's. Gentlemen, I think you should put your weapons down and leave this building post-haste. It is a building of the Pathfinders, and you shall not affront it anymore. This is your one chance to leave. Stop, or I'll shoot.
You can see immediately the Wyvarans are, "We do not want to engage in this. Just leave us now." Leave here. This is not your place anymore. And he pulls his, you can see the other one starting to draw his falchion as well. And they basically assume combat stances at this point in time, but they're not on the offensive or on the attack, if you will.
Tarsnov, put your weapon away.
Look, we are unarmed. How far away are we?
From them, you are varied distances away. So the closest one from you would probably be about 40, not even 40 feet away, 35 feet away.
We are unarmed. I walk 5 foot.
Gentlemen, what is it you seek here and who has sent you? Maybe we could parley and find an equitable and reasonable solution to where we find ourselves.
Okay, can you make a diplomacy check for me as you ask that?
Nope. It's unlikely Flopsy can make a diplomacy check, but he doesn't do too bad on this one. I think rolled an 18 for a 16.
For a 16.
Can I assist that or not? No,
You can't
That
speak
doesn't feel like
Draconic.
no. I can stand there and look,
Diplomatic.
dragon-like.
So just go back again. Tell me what you're asking there, Flopsy, as you make the...
I say, who sent you and what are you looking for? We don't need to come to blows. If you're looking for something specific, we could come to some kind of equitable outcome that sees us all walk away from here unscathed.
The creature that is standing over the desk that obviously was poring over a couple of maps and scrolls and stuff looks up at you and he says, "We are looking for maps to treasure."
Ah, treasure, yes. I think I saw a map just outside to the left. There's a little mausoleum, and in the mausoleum, there's a whole, one of the dead bodies has maps all over it.
And this is where Flopsy's mouth starts writing a check that his rolls can't cash. Let's have a bluff check, please, Flopsy.
Nice.
Fuck it. 11.
You can see that they're starting to get agitated by this. And he says, "We are looking for treasure in here. It is us. Now leave. We will find the treasure ourselves."
I won't have you causing any disruption to this place. How much is it that would cause you to be satisfied and leave? What is the amount?
"We want the treasure. Pathfinders have treasure, and we will find the map to the treasure."
Reggie charges.
Okay, so Reggie, just make a initiatives, I believe, is now where we're at.
Okay, so that is a 14 for initiative for Reggie.
Reg gets a 14. What about you, Flopsy?
15 for Flopsy.
Ooh. Miles?
21.
Can somebody please roll for Amriel? Amriel has a +2 to his initiative.
9.
Ooh.
Well, I initiated the maneuver and I'm going to go last.
I'll remind you guys that Flopsy will always talk and you have to shut him up.
We can't hear. We don't know what you're saying.
Ah, Draconic,
We couldn't talk
of course.
to him.
Yeah.
Draconic.
I just had to let you go on that one. I was
Good
hoping.
on ya.
I was hoping you'd say misfortune or sleep, and then I'd know what to do.
Reginald,
Yes.
you start to charge, moving straight in. Which one are you going to go for? There's a
Closest
guy.
one. Closest one.
There is a guy up the stairs, and there is a guy who is behind the racks. They're both almost the same distance.
So hang on,
about
I'm either
30.
having to go upstairs or climb a rack.
No, that's a guy behind a. So you're in a library full of racks,
Yeah.
full of books, and he's behind one of those racks. He was studying some of the scrolls and stuff in there. That's the first guy that was talking, and the guy who's just having a discourse with Flopsy, who is on a raised wooden pedestal over a desk with maps on it. Is so he's to where you're standing. He's to your right.
Okay. So the one that was yippity yapping with Flopsy.
Okay, so you run up the stairs,
Yep.
which is easily done, and you get into base to base.
Okay. And I'm going to attempt to trip.
Okay.
No, not so. With a. You
might have a gammy leg.
I don't want to say. Can I borrow that free reroll token?
You might have a gammy leg.
Yeah, so I wildly misjudged this going up the stairs with a 8.
An 8. You attempt to go to trip this creature that's in front of you. His wings flap a little bit, keeping him off the ground. He doesn't take off, but you see him that he's quite light on his feet, and he steps straight over your leg as it sweeps under his legs to try and flip him over. Is there anything else you're doing this turn?
That's all I can do, isn't it? With a charge, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And at that point, everybody else, because Reggie makes that surprise round happen, and everybody now gets to act. Miles, it is your go.
The one that's hiding behind the racks, 5
Yes.
foot step forward, casting Misfortune.
Okay.
As you've picked a bad move here, buddy.
Right. Now, this could be, he fails.
So he is misfortuned.
Okay.
And then as a bonus action, I'll cackle. You're in for it now, buddy.
And you begin to cackle. Flopsy, what are you going to do?
Flopsy will walk over the sleeping person, just stand next to him and say to the other one, again,
There's no sleeping person.
He hexed him.
Misfortune.
oh, you misfortuned him.
Yes.
Oh, my mistake.
Sorry.
Flopsy will say out loud, I can't throw a bomb in here. There's too much valuable information. You can't damage that, of course. And he's going to run up next to Reggie and try and get in a flanking position with that guy.
Okay, so you can use both of your move actions
Yep.
to get into a flank option with the creature who is up on the stands. He's the guy that you don't know his name. So, he's the guy that you actually do know his name. His name's Tarsnov.
Tarsnov, the Snovnius.
So you get into a position where you can flank Tarsnov. Reg, it is your go.
Okay, now obviously taking full advantage of the flanking. I get a bonus for that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, Reginald.
I like you playing this game.
And now that was for the benefit of the audience.
Yep.
There we go. So I'm going to flurry. I'm going to go for kneecaps because I'm guessing they're going to be around about my height, right? So the first one is a 25 to hit.
That'll hit.
Oh,
Denied dexterity.
denied dex.
So it's a sneak attack.
Fucking 5 points of damage.
Okay, so boom.
It's 2 more than normal. Well
It
done,
is,
Reginald.
it
Well
is.
done.
But I rolled a 1 on that d6. That's depressing. Okay, second attack. No, that's not going to hit with a 14 to hit.
+2 for the flanking.
15, 16 to hit.
That is not enough.
Yeah.
So 16 swings wide as one of your hits does ring true, but the other one does not. That brings us to the enemy's go. The enemy that is being flanked right now, you know him as Tarsnov, those of you that spoke Draconic, so you know that his name is Tarsnov. Tarsnov, with falchion in hand, brandishes it upon you, and you can see that he is going to attack you, Reg, and he's going to put all of his attack into that using power attack.
Power attack.
I thought it was going to be a rage moment there.
Does he?
Does a 20 hit you, Reg?
No.
Okay.
No, it does.
It does?
It does, yeah.
You take 10 points of damage.
Yeah,
as the-
fuck, do I? Seriously?
Oh, no, you don't. Because
No.
it's with power attack, you
It's
take more
more.
damage.
Get fucked, he said. Wait for it.
Reg, this is an amazingly awesome blow as the falchion strikes
Tis
down
what you
upon you.
proclaimed.
You see the blade cut deep into Reginald. The power of this blow alone knocks him figuratively, not actually in rules. And you take Reg. Fuck me. Now, a falchion is a two-handed weapon, which means he gets times and a half on this. Oh, this is nasty. Reg, you take 14 points of damage.
Oh, gee, I thought it was going to be more than that. Okay.
Oh. Reg thought it was going to be more than that.
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah,
right?
no, it is a lot of damage. But,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. From this creature, which then 5 foot steps into a position where he's out of flanking and closer to his companion. He diagonally steps next to you, Reg, so out of the flanking position with Flopsy, making sure that Flopsy has to move 10 foot to be able to get into another flanking position at least. The Wyvaran behind the shelves that contain the barbarian accoutrements steps out and he charges straight into you, Miles. He's going to roll twice because that's what he has to do. He rolls 2 of exactly the same number, which I think might not be so bad. That is going to be a 20 to hit you.
That hits.
And it is going to, again, with these guys are nasty with power attack. They are nasty, nasty. Whew. That's going to be 14 points of damage. They are nothing if not consistent with the damage that they are rolling. But you can see they're angry at this point in being interrupted looking for their treasure, and he says, "We told you not to interfere. You could have helped us." And he says that in common.
You told us no. What? That's the first I've heard of it.
Seeing the
Fair. That's fair.
seeing the damage that these creatures do, Amriel takes a step from beside you, away from you, Miles, and he begins to cast a spell. You see multiple images of Amriel pop up all around him as he casts mirror image on himself. And then we get to round number 2. Miles.
Miles is going to cackle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! That fucking hurt. Just go to sleep now. He's just going to go for a hex strike on him.
Cool.
That's a 16 to hit.
A 16 is not going to bypass his his armor class.
I probably should have just done the hex without the punch.
Yeah, you don't actually hit into him at all. And so you have a Wyvaran that is standing right in front of you, looking very angry with a 2-handed falchion, ready to strike you next round. Flopsy, it is your go.
Flopsy in common's going to say, "Stop, we still don't need to attack. We can help you find the treasure."
Diplomacy. Know that this roll is much harder now that combat has been initiated.
"Stop, fuckface." Yeah, 4 minus 2 is a 2.
Okay. No, you say something in Draconic that seems to upset him.
Oh, sorry, I conjugated the verb. I didn't mean fuckface. I mean fucks faces. Oh no.
And are you going to actually do any actions?
He'll pop back into a flank if he can with
Reg?
Yeah, he'll flank
He's
Tarsnov with
5-footed away from me.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
can.
So you'll have to use an entire move to get there.
That'll do it.
Yes, Flopsy, you can use a move action to get into flanking without provoking an attack of opportunity for this guy.
I shall do so.
Reg, it is your go. What are you going to do? You are now flanking with Tarsnov again, and he still has his falchion out. He's still looking quite upset. Actually, if anything, he looks more angry now, and he's growling at you. We just wanted maps to your treasure. You are deceitful like they told us. Pathfinders cannot be trusted.
Okay, Reggie's going to flurry, starting off with an attempt on a trip for a 16 CMB.
+2 for flanking. Is that flanking hit on a CMB?
18 CMB.
18 is not going to be enough for his CMB.
That's hackety shit. Okay, so then obviously that's not working. I'm just going to try and punch him in the bollocks
Okay.
with a natural 20.
Natural 20, nice.
He's learned from his last time trying to hit someone in the
Nutshot.
bollocks.
Right in the
Ding-dong.
dragon eggs.
Oh, I don't confirm though. So you were flanking, so I still get that extra D6. Lovely. These going to be the ones that I'll take.
3?
That again. No, hang on.
Reggie 3?
Slip type.
Fuck you.
3 points of damage.
Reggie 3.
Wait, that's a crit.
As
Oh,
a
no,
crit,
you didn't
didn't confirm, and I rolled a 1 on the D6 and a 1 on the D4 with a +1 for strength is 3. If nothing but consistent.
You can't get less than that.
Oh, but that's true. Normal, I cannot. 2 is the max, not minimum usually. If it's just the D4, not without the sneak attack. Anyway, that's good content. You're welcome. Fucking gold.
We now come to the enemy's turn. There is an enemy that is currently misfortuned that is standing right in front of Miles. We're going to start there, I think, Miles. He looks at you and he looks towards the door just behind you that is still open, and he says, "Flee, creature! Leave us to our beings. We told you we did not want to get into this." And he swings at you. This time, the misfortune may take hold as the second dice he rolls is quite low. And with that is a 12 to hit you with power attack.
deflects off the mage armor. All I fucking heard was
Oh, no, he says it in common.
Yeah, I know. But before, when you told me that what you wanted, you were like talking in like hisses and spits and shit.
Your leader spoke for you.
I am the leader. I am Commander Miles McCarthy of the Reggie 3. You talk to me or you don't talk at all.
There's so much in that statement. I am commander of the Reggie 3. All right. And to the dangerous portion, we have Flopsy and Reg. You just hit him in the nuts, Reg. I can't see any reason
That's right. I got to come in. It's fine.
I can't see any
it.
reason why he
Yep.
would not be power attacking.
I'll take it on the chin.
Oh, fuck. So the thing about a falchion is that a falchion has a critical
range
threat.
Yeah, I know.
Of
Yep.
17, 18, 19, and sorry, I misspoke. 18, 19, 20, and I just rolled the natural 19 to hit you. What is your armor class at the moment?
17.
Okay, so this is a confirm roll, and this could be very, very bad. Did you say 17? Because that's what I just rolled with power attack.
Oh, so do you still get the negative on that?
That was with the negative.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, it would have been two
That was
better.
that was with the wishful thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I am so sorry for this, Reg. This is bad.
This is decapitation.
Bad
material.
business,
This
right?
is very
here.
familiar. Yeah.
Oh, it's not such a great die roll. So that is 13 points of damage, and then actually, do we do cards for these guys? So he's going to take a card for you, Reg. So
Okay.
we're going to go straight to the card decks.
I suppose you do cards for named characters. I'm the one getting critted, so that makes sense.
Tasnov.
So I lose a foot. My tripping monk loses a foot.
So that means you're 2 feet?
That'd be Reggie
Oh,
2.
the
then.
Reggie 3, tripod 3.
The Paizo card that I have in front of me is called Shattered Jaw from the slashing weapon that is a falchion. You take normal damage and 1 con damage, and you cannot speak or bite until healed. The damage that you take, Reg, is going to be 13 points, and you also take a -1 to con, which means that if that brings you past a threshold, you may lose even more hit points. You're looking in a bad way right now, aren't you?
Oh, yes.
Which ain't fun at all. And once again, he 5-foot steps now on top of the stairs to get away from that flanking position. It takes both of you a 5-foot step to get back into flanking, but it's all he can do at this point. That brings us down to Amriel. Amriel, the sorcerer, as we now know him, is going to cast a spell. From his fingertips, a ray shoots out. Can somebody please roll a touch attack for me as he attempts to
I ain't
shoot a
touching
ray
anything right now.
into the one in front of you, Miles?
Natural 10.
A natural 10.
Been a while since I've been in this much trouble.
Not looking too great myself.
A green ray shoots from Amriel's fingertips, sparkling with negative energy, with sapping light, as a ray of enfeeblement crashes right into the Wyvaran in front of you, Miles. Can you roll a d6 for me, please?
1.
And you drop him 1 insignificant point of strength. As you can see, some of his bolster even leaves out of him a little bit. And that brings us to round number 3. Miles, you are at the very top. You are base to base with the guy who just got Rave enfeebled.
I am going to use my slumber hex without the hex track. So it just
Okay.
makes the will save, please.
Okay.
With misfortune.
You're going to hate me so much right here. But I'm going to show you something. Just read what it says on defensive abilities. Just read what it says on defensive abilities. there.
Defensive abilities. Bravery, +1. Immune to paralysis and sheep.
Bah!
Fuck.
So you just learned something about Wyvarans. And this points back to their draconic nature. As most dragons,
What, they don't sleep.
they are immune to magical sleep. They are immune to sleep. So your hex goes off and he seems to just blink it straight away.
I cackle. I'm like, oh, fuck.
All right. Flopsy, you are currently out of flank, but it takes you a 5-foot step to get into flank.
Flopsy's going to wait for Reginald to have a turn and say, Reginald, step out the way. I'm going kaboomy. So he's just going to hold until Reggie steps back and then throw a flask at this guy.
Cool. All right, Reg, it is your go.
Okay, so Reggie is going to wobble.
Oh, no.
No, okay, so Reggie is going to 5 foot away from, in the most, the best position, basically.
Okay, so
knowing
you
full well what's coming, and whichever way is the best way.
are you meaning to move away from the creature?
I'm 5 footing. I'm 5 foot stepping away.
Yep. So,
So I can
you're
still
trying
have
to get a
standard
5
action.
foot gap between you and the creature.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you move back to almost where he started.
Cool. Okay. And then I'm going to cast Cure Light Wounds.
Okay. Reggie 3.
Fucking 4. Yeah, it's a 3, actually. And I've rolled a 3.
All right, Flopsy, it's your go.
A bomb comes sailing out of Flopsy's hand. Now, it's an alchemist fire, not one of his normal
Okay.
bombs.
You are still 5 foot away, Flopsy, so I'm just
He's
going
going to 5 foot back and throw this bomb.
Okay.
And it's a 21 touch attack to hit.
That'll definitely hit.
Doing, sorry, he just had an increase in his stats. So that's going to be good. 11 points of fire damage.
11 points of fire damage to the Wyvaran.
And this gentleman in front of me is now upon fire. Fire upon your person. You are on fire.
So he's burning.
He is, yes, on fire.
All right.
Draconic.
Depends what color.
Are we feeling like all that went through?
Yeah.
Oh.
We didn't check. We didn't ask what color. I was trying to get a description of him earlier.
White.
Privileged.
Wyvaran. I have a question for you, Flopsy. Now, he is on fire right now. Is this a fire that you can put out?
You could roll. You
so
could
he is
absolutely
going to
roll.
actually spend this round. His
Full round
wings
action.
start to flap and flicker around. You can see his entire body is engulfed in the wings as he flicks whatever the flame that seems to be upon him away from him. But he spends this entire round flicking out that fire and keeping it away.
He doesn't roll on the ground.
No, he uses his wings.
Oh,
and
so
pats
make a
himself
reflex
down.
save.
Wings.
And yeah, he has wings.
Make a reflex save.
Okay, yep, that will be a fail.
15 to do so. Otherwise, you don't put the fire out unless you roll on the ground and you get a +2 for that.
Oh, so he has to make a save to do that regardless.
So, yeah, it's if desired, the target can use a full round action to attempt to extinguish the flames before taking the additional damage. Extinguishing the flames requires a DC 15 reflex save. Rolling on the ground provides the target a +2 bonus on that save.
Okay. So he remains on fire and he still spends this entire round trying to put himself out. The second enemy that is in front of you, Miles, still stands there. You even look at him and just make a sense motive check for the way that he seems.
0.
Okay.
Since when did a D20 have a 0 on it? I can't even read that thing, by the way.
That's a 2 with a negative 2 sense motive.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't really
I think he's in love with me.
you don't really get a read on what happens, but he seems to almost flinch before he attacks you this time. But he's still going to attack even with 2 dice rolls. I don't think this is going to be anything near what he needs on an 11.
Miss. Thank
Okay.
God.
So you see him almost flinch, like he hesitates a bit to chop you, and then he slides down. And even with that, you sense the idea that he's dropping the power behind his swing, and he is not really going for you with the same amount of gusto that he was. And then he says to you, "Turn and leave."
No.
Good chat, fellas. Good chat.
Make me.
Oh, fucking hell.
How about you turn and leave?
Amriel, with another flurry of hands, standing right next to him with a 5 foot space between him and the Wyvaran in front of you, Miles, he says, "I am not going to waste all my spells. Can you deal with him?" And he casts a spell that all of you who know the arcane arts know that this is a cantrip spell. So he's using his at-will spells at the moment. Can you please roll for me a touch attack?
15.
A 15 touch attack is enough for the acid splash to affect. Can you roll a D3 for me, please?
I'm more like a support kind of guy. I keep people alive. 1.
Oh, the Reggie one. Oh, no. The Miles one. Yeah, and you say that back to him?
Yeah.
And he kind of looks at you, his eyes flare open, and he says, "Maybe we should get out the door."
No, Reggie will pull through.
It is now my round number 4. Miles, it is your go.
Miles is going to 5 foot away from this bad guy, but towards the one on the stairs, if he can.
The only space that you've got still keeps you in base to base with this creature in the 5 foot step that Amriel. So you guys were standing in the doorway at the beginning, so you can move back out the door. You're in the doorway. Amriel took a step towards the stairs, which is where the 5 foot gap between you and Amriel is. So you can move into that, but you're still in base to base.
Can I reach the other one?
The only way you can go from here where you want to get away from this guy that's in front of you is if you back out the door.
Is the other one still in misfortune range?
The other one definitely is in misfortune range, yes.
I'll be like, oh, you're on the stairs. You suck. Misfortune.
Oh, natural 19.
Fuck. And I cackle to keep the one on the one I'm going.
Okay. Did you end up moving or
No,
you stay where you
You
are?
said I couldn't.
Okay. Reg.
Reggie, in his concussed state, remembers he has got a Cure Mod Wounds wand
Mhm.
about his person, so he withdraws that and fucking has a little flick on that stick. That's more like it. 14.
How much healing there?
14.
Knitted back together quite well.
No, still not looking great.
Oh, poop.
Yeah, yes.
Oh.
Into the pooper. Yeah, okay.
Flopsy, it is your go.
So, first thing that happens is the fire from the last round takes effect. That's another 3 points of fire damage on that gentleman.
Okie dokie. Yep.
And Flopsy's unwilling to keep asking for them to give quarter at this point. He would go, put your weapons down one more time, but he doesn't think it's going to be effective. So he pulls now another Alchemist Fire, throws it at this guy for a 14 touch attack.
14 touch attack is what you need.
For natural fire, 11 points of damage.
Oh, gross.
And he's on fire again.
Burn, baby, burn.
All right.
Let's go and burn.
Your friend up here, Tarsnov. Sorry,
Tarsnov.
I hate to butcher your name. He's burning quite a bit. If you put your weapons down, we can call it here, or you can perish.
Tarsnov turns around and looks at you, Flopsy. 5 foot steps, closing the gap between you. He takes all of the power that he has, and he's going to slice at you with power attack and all the rage that he has. That is the 3rd natural 19 that I have rolled tonight.
Oh, this is going to be bad.
This is
Take
going
his
to
word
be
for it, he's behind the screen.
really, really bad. And I am going to confirm that with a natural 18. I believe, Flopsy, that is going to hit you.
Crit.
That is well into the 20s. I'm going to take another crit card.
It's bad. This is really
real
bad.
You lose your tail.
This is him pretty much dead.
This is bad.
Oh, this is bad. The crit card that I have in front of me is a card that is called Overhand Chop. Again, slamming with his falchion with power attack. So this is going to be a smashingly huge amount of damage as it stands. You do double damage and 1d4 bleed. And we're going to find out how much damage that is next time. You are fucked up. You are dead. You are so dead. You are in so much trouble right now. A crit from a falchion that is gross.
What's the maximum damage that can do?
That is grossy Josie.